welcome back to another video. In this video, I am recreating this beautiful nail design. Let's go ahead and get started. I am including the nail prep or the tips application in this video, and I'm going to kind of speed through it, but it's going to be kind of the same process as the previous video where I tried it the first time. So I'm going to put in some little nail tips in my practice hand, and then I'm going to prep my nail tips. Now, what I really like about doing this method is, of course, getting the practice and getting the motion, and it feels a little bit more real to adhere the nail tips. So if you want longer nails on your practice hand, this is a great way as well, because you can see how long these nail tips are. But for this set, I'm not going to do it anything too long. This is the set I'm going to be doing right now is a little bit on the definitely long side for me. So this is probably as long as I'm going to go. So again, I'm just going to adhere these nail tips with acetone. If you haven't seen, I already have a video where I tried it out. Here I'm just grabbing a brush and adding some of that acetone in there where I feel like it needed to kind of like seal in a way. So once the nail tips are adhered, they are not going anywhere. They stick so good to the plastic itself. So I'm going to use my little magnets and cut down the nails. And like I said, this is the longest that I do now. So I'm just kind of keeping it to this length where I know that I can manage the acrylic properly. So I had already gone over it, but I did not record it on accident. But I'm just pretty much doing the same thing as I'm doing now, which is blending in the nail tip to the nail. So now I'm going to file the nails very quickly. And I had already filed them off camera before I adhered them, to save a little bit of time. And I'm just going to file the tip to make sure they are nice and ready for the acrylic. So I'm going to use this little dish, and it's like glass, and I'm going to use a paper towel to do this application so I don't mess up my table. So this is a beautiful green acrylic that I'm going to use, and look how smooth and buttery this acrylic is. Now, when they say the acrylic doesn't move unless you move it, this is that acrylic. I don't know why I haven't gotten more of these acrylics. They're just so beautiful and they work so nicely. I feel like you can tell when the acrylic is really good quality is when you're able to pick up a large amount of powder with your brush compared to, I feel like I always compare it to Valentino, where with Valentino I feel like the beads are small. Even though like with a size 12 brush, I can pick up a lot of powder with this one compared to Valentino. Maybe it's me, I'm not sure. Okay, so now I'm going to just go ahead and continue with this application. Now, in this application video, you're going to see that it's a little bit different because I'm not following my normal routine where I do the tip bead, the apex bead, and the cuticle bead. I'm just doing the nail all at once, and I'm not sure if you can see the difference, but I'm doing a lot more beads because I'm not as uniform and as meticulous as I usually am when I'm working in the method that I do. So that's kind of one thing I noticed, is that I did take maybe a little bit longer, but then again, I'm working with two different acrylics, so keeping that in mind. Overall, we have a nice and even application. When you're working with colors, you can use a clear acrylic to encapsulate it as well. Now I am using the Valentino acrylic in the color cream. I wanted to use something that's a little bit more of a fleshy tone, and I thought it would really complement the color, this green color, which is a beautiful rich emerald green, which is perfect for this time. So I'm going to apply this acrylic in the same manner. Alright, and this is the finished application, nice and smooth. I'm going to use some of my pre-made 3D acrylic flowers. If you're interested in making these 3D acrylic flowers, I have a few different videos if you either want to do it with acrylic or if you want to do gel. So hopefully those videos are helpful. I don't think it really matters, but of course some gel or neutral underneath because I don't have I'm going to around it of the acrylic. I don't have any gel really form on these. So you can just do it in any direction if you wanted to flip it. But what I'm going to do is just outline so that the right fronts are next to. Once I'm done with that, before I cure it, I'm going to sprinkle that same acrylic powder on top.